Woo! Jeez. That was a good one. Alrighty, welcome to another episode of Laced Up Sneaker Podcast, the only podcast to get your latest sneaker news. I don't know where I was going with that one. I was trying to test something out. I don't know. It wasn't working too well. It's your boy, Levi. Guys, Thomas couldn't be with us here today. He had some other things he had to take care of, so we're going to make things super short. I know he's not here to kind of keep me on the ball, keep me on track. But guys, we have a really awesome episode here today. We have a really awesome special guest that we interviewed just a couple of days ago, and we're going to share the interview with you guys so that way you guys can kind of get in on what we talked about and kind of our buddy's perspective on everything. But real quick, before I play the interview that I recorded, I want to apologize firsthand for the delay on the episodes. We had some technical difficulties and some scheduling. We kind of had to filter out and get things ready. And we kind of had to put our ducks in a line, I guess you could say. Thank you so much for all the love and support we've been getting, guys. On Twitter, we're over 100 followers. Me and Thomas are talking about doing a giveaway. If that's something you guys want to do, then definitely let us know. Tweet at us you guys' opinions and suggestions on that. Follow us on Twitter, LacedUp_podcast. We're on SoundCloud, Laced Up Sneaker Talk, Stitcher, Laced Up Sneaker Podcast, YouTube, Laced Up Sneaker Podcast, Spreaker, Laced Up Sneaker Podcast. Follow us and listen to us on all those different platforms, guys. We appreciate it so much. There's no excuse that you guys shouldn't be listening to us. There's no way you guys can't. So make sure to listen to us, guys. Tell your friends. We're really trying to do some really awesome things with this podcast. I also apologize. We're not going to do a SoundCloud rapper of the episode today just because this interview went a little bit longer than we were kind of planning on to. We're still kind of testing the waters on kind of the direction we want to move with these interviews. But we are listening to every single person you tweet at us, you DM us, and share the links with. Don't you worry. And we're trying to get every single person on the podcast and talk about their music. We have so many requests. Maybe even making a whole episode around that. We're not sure. Tell us what you guys think. But we definitely love all the excitement and fire you guys have been sending to us. There's a lot of amazing, talented, creative artists out there. We're super excited to talk about all of them. Also, if you're one of the people that sent us a suggestion, we want to have you on the show. If you're the musician or you're not, you're a close friend of them, we want to send you on the show. Also, tell us what you think about how we incorporated our last SoundCloud rapper of the episode in. If it was too long, too short, what you guys think we should go in deeper, not as deep. Tell us what you guys think. We want your criticism. We want to make this show as awesome, as fun as possible. Guys, I can't even stress the fact how many awesome segments me and Thomas have planned for you guys, but we don't have enough time to keep putting them in all into one episode. So we're trying our best, trying to put our ducks in line for that on our scripting and our scheduling for all of our shows. But don't worry, we are going to resume to our regular scheduled uploads. We upload at 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So make sure you guys are always some of the first to listen to our episodes. Besides that, I don't want to ramble on. Thomas isn't here to kind of keep me in place. I think that should be it, though. Our special guest, awesome NBA prospect, All-American, going to the league next year. We're crossing our fingers. We're praying for him. He's a good buddy of mine. His name is Ty, and he's killing it over at University of Illinois Chicago, man. He's going to have an amazing season this year. We're super excited to watch him, and I've been excited to watch him grow and develop over the years. So, without further ado, I will let you guys listen to the episode. And you niggas in trouble. You niggas in trouble. Fresh out the bed. Check this out. We got a really awesome guest on our show today.
Tell me about him.
Dude, I'm super excited to have this guy on here. I've been following him for years, since he was a young boy out in high school, man. And he's been accomplishing some really awesome things. And I was like, man, I got this platform now to combine my love for sneakers to the outside world. I was like, what better way to get some athletes, some real basketball heads out there to get their opinions going.
All right.
You know, I'm a big basketball player myself. At least I dabble. But
in the slides, maybe.
You know, basketball and sneakers, I feel like have such a direct correlation. So why not get a really amazing athlete on the phone, get him in on the show. Let's ask him. Let's drill him some questions, both from us, from our fans as well. We'll get things going. So, guys, man, this man needs no introduction. You guys should start knowing his name pretty soon. He's got a really deep basketball resume, and I'm excited to just kind of like get his opinion on everything. What do you think, Thomas?
Good to get some outside input on the show.
For sure. And way to set the bar high by us with our first special guest to have this guy on our show. And I'm super excited. So you want to introduce yourself, my man. This is my man, Tai Odiasi. And how about you just go off first, kind of tell us a little bit about yourself, maybe like where you're from, kind of your upbringings, where you go to school right now, where you're playing and stuff.
All right, so I'm from Flossmoor, Illinois. That's where I went to high school at. I went to Flossmoor High School. Right now I'm currently playing for University of Illinois, Chicago. And, my parents, they're from Nigeria, so I have a Nigerian background. And I have another brother who actually plays for crosstown rival Chicago State, another Division I school in Chicago. And I have a little brother. He plays for Governor State.
Okay.
Olympia Fields or something.
Gotcha. So a pretty big basketball family, you'd say then.
Yeah, well, we're the first generation, me and my brothers.
Gotcha. So,
Pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. So your parents are both from Nigeria, and they came into the States when you were born?
Way before.
Way before. Gotcha. Crazy,
yeah.
Man. So how many years have you been at University of Illinois, Chicago, man?
I'm about to start my 4th year.
Oh, wow. The senior year?
Yeah.
What are you majoring in?
Yep. I'm majoring in psychology.
Psychology, cool.
Right on.
Cool. And kind of give us a quick background of like your basketball resume, kind of like any of the accomplishments that you made. I know recently, based on your Twitter and on your YouTube, I saw a pretty big one. I don't know if you want to go into it. You can probably provide more details. I think you know what I'm talking about in regards to...
Which one? Are you talking about Defensive Player of the Year or this past summer?
This past summer with Adidas?
Oh, yeah. This is my second invite to Adidas Nations, actually. I went the summer before, but I don't think I did as well as I did this time around. I was a way better player this time around. So, yeah, I went there and I got all tournament team at Adidas Nations in front of a whole bunch of NBA and pro scouts. So that was a big thing for me.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. What was it like to compete against some of like the top names in the country like that? Like that level of competition's got to be. Were you nervous at all, or were you excited to meet all those other guys? Or
I mean, when you see like other high major players, I guess other players tend to get nervous. But I mean, I had fun because I love playing against the top competition. Like it's a way different ball game as far as those type of athletes and mid-major and low major. But I mean, I think I held my own pretty well, and it was really fun. It was a great experience.
For sure, man. I got to watch actually some of the YouTube. They put together like some highlights and they put on YouTube. I got to watch you play. I thought that was super cool because I've been following you. We've been following each other for like a long time since you were in high school and talking back and forth here and there. And it's really cool to see like how much you've grown and fit into this kind of like bigger role. Because I remember in high school you weren't necessarily like a top recruit. I'd say you weren't.
Not at all.
Yeah,
actually.
Yeah, it's not like.
It was kind of a look, in my opinion. But
for sure, like. For sure. What did it take to start from going kind of like under the radar and not top recruit to kind of being invited to this national level of basketball, compete against some of the top talent? What did that take to get there, man?
I mean, well, freshman year, I came in. I was supposed to be playing the 5, but I was really undersized for my position. I came in at about 6'8", 190, 6'7", 190. And so I feel like the first part I needed to do was put on a lot of weight, and I didn't really start putting on a really good amount of weight until actually this past summer. We're starting in like May. where I was from I started the season last season 225, 230. At the end of the season, I lost weight. All the vigorous, all the games and all that. We tend to lose a lot of weight, so I ended the season 220.
Oh wow.
So starting May, I started eating different, working out different, and I ended up gaining up to 28, 30 pounds, and I was about 248, and that was too much for me, so I just trimmed it down, and now I'm about 235, 240, and it feels really good. So that was the first part, where I'm at today, getting better and all that. And then secondly, we got a new coaching staff, and Seth Cooper, my coach, he's been a really big, part of my development. I work out with him almost every day. He teaches me something new every day. He has a lot of experience with NBA guys. He's previously worked with the Clippers and the Celtics
Oh wow.
and the Suns. So he has a lot of NBA experience connects. When I went down to Adidas Nation, they even knew who he was. They told me, give him a shout out, and a lot of people knew him down there. So he's really deep in the NBA community. And also my coach, Steve McClain, he's really, had my back and helped me out with a lot of things, and putting my name out there so I can get invited to Adidas Nations and have those opportunities like that. So it's really, just the coaches really helped me out a lot, from the strength coach to, the head coach. They all helped me out a lot.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I love to hear that. So would you say that kind of like your ending goal is to make it to the NBA?
Definitely. I don't think, somebody who's really serious about the game like I am would just want to stop or just be mediocre. I don't want to be mediocre. I want to make it to the best league there is. The best league there is the NBA. So that's been my dream since I was young, watching, NBA TV since I was little. So now, I think that's every big basketball player's dream.
For sure. Now, what's kind of like your plan to get into the NBA? Are you planning on entering the draft after this season, or are you planning on going overseas or going into the G League, or kind of what's your plan?
I think I have a good amount of momentum right now where I can enter the draft after the season. I just need to, I'm just really focused on winning with UIC though, because we have a lot of hype behind us for the first time in a long time this year. So I really just want to focus on winning as many games and getting to the NCAA tournament. That's the first focus, and then after that, everything else should fall in place.
Awesome. Now we're kind of gonna get into the real reason why a lot of people are probably gonna listen to this podcast now, this episode. Now, University of Illinois Chicago is an Adidas sponsored school, correct?
Yeah.
So, kind of, what's your take? I know have you been at University of Illinois Chicago for all 4 years, or?
Yes, I have.
Okay, cool. So, I would say pretty recently, within the last 4 to 5 years, Adidas has really stepped up their game in the basketball and sports wave. So, kind of what's your experience with Adidas in that sense? What was your opinion on seeing Adidas grow from where you first started your freshman year to kind of Adidas being, top dog now in the sports industry? Kind of, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, see, when I came in, Adidas, when I came in, the year before that, at HF, we were all Nike. I wore Nike everything. I used to Nike. I played on Nike Main Streets, so I was just used to Nike. So when I came to Adidas, the shoes they had at first, they were good for the time, but, looking back on the shoes now, I guess it wasn't as good. When I first came, I had flat feet, so when I first put on Adidas, for some reason, I guess the molding of the shoe or whatnot didn't fit my feet, and it was really uncomfortable. So I had to get orthotics and whatnot. And every year, I've seen Adidas release better and better shoes, and they're doing really, really good right now. I went to Adidas Nation. I got a couple shoes there. The crazy explosive 2017 Prime Knit ones. I really like those. My favorite pair right now. Yeah, my favorite pair right now are the Hardys, the Harden ones. Now I really like those shoes. They're really comfortable.
Awesome.
And I also have favorites like the Dame 3s. The Dame 4s, we have them. I'm just not going to wear them until probably the first game or the first few games.
All right. Got to keep it fresh,
Yeah. There's a lot of shoes.
So
we're going to have a lot of shoes on this court this year.
I know being with the Division I program, you guys get you know, pretty much you guys get treated like